It's a pleasure to be here. Thanks, Pastor Wale, for having me all these years. And thanks to all our sponsors. It can't be easy to pull this together without the sponsors. So thank you so much for your sponsorship. And thanks to all the young professionals on the call for making time, for investing in yourself to be here. So you made the effort to register and came through and you're here today. So thank you. And thanks for all the other mentors for sharing a piece of yourself. So you're sharing a piece of yourself today with the young ones just to help them grow, to help them increase their understanding of life and to excel, really. So I'm going to share my screen. I've been told to talk about my notes to my younger self. Share screen. Okay. All right, so notes to my younger self. So this is supposed to be easy because I'm talking to myself. So it's supposed to be easy. The first thing I will say to my younger self is this. There will be balls to juggle. As you go through life, sometimes the balls will change. They will increase in size, reduce in size, but they will always be there. You are meant to juggle these balls and ensure that they don't fall, or at least the very important ones don't fall. So you must bear that in mind. I mean, the balls are varied, and I have here only about 9 balls, but sometimes they are more than 9, sometimes they come down 5, sometimes, so they will keep changing. But remember, there are balls to juggle, and you have a responsibility to yourself to ensure that you juggle them right. To help you do that, I have captured my thoughts or my notes in 9 attributes. So there are 9 attributes I'm going to share very quickly on how you can position yourself to juggle all the balls that present themselves to you. First attribute is to be self-aware. It's important for you to know who you are and be comfortable with that. Sometimes we get so busy in life and, we kind of lose ourselves. We start to, not be sure of what we want to achieve. So Dolly Parton, most of you, the younger ones, may not know Dolly Parton, but those who are my age and above will definitely know her. What she says, she's a musician, she says, find out who you are and do it on purpose. So it has to be deliberate. It's not something that you will fall into that knowledge of who you are. You have to make sure that you take time to think, deeply reflect, and find out who you are. On the right here, on the left, it says to lead people, you must first lead yourself. To lead yourself, you must first know yourself. We talk about emotional intelligence all the time. The first aspect of emotional intelligence is knowing who you are, being self-aware, know yourself. That's so important. And research has shown that just being aware of yourself, understanding yourself, is associated with higher job satisfaction, better relationship, personal and social control, happiness generally. So you must know yourself. The second attribute is be visionary. Be visionary. What do you want to achieve in life? You must have a clear idea of what that is. And I'm hoping, if it's not exciting to you, then you probably won't chase it. So I'm hoping that idea is very exciting. And for you to be visionary and move in that direction, you must create strategies to move in that direction. And you must establish goals and objectives that can help you. So great leaders have a clear idea of where they are going and what they are trying to accomplish. And they must have strategies, they must have goals and objectives so that they can monitor and track how they're doing. So please be visionary. The third attribute is courage. Be courageous. As a young professional, you must be courageous. Winston Churchill says that courage is rightly considered the foremost of all virtues because upon it others depend. You must have the courage to step out of your comfort zone sometimes because that is required. There's a book by Gus Lee titled Courage, and in that book he says that courage is the backbone of leadership. Courage is the backbone of leadership. And he has in that book, he shares 6 attributes of courage. One is feeling the fear, yet choosing to act. So don't think that the fear will disappear for you to have to be courageous. No, you will feel the fear, but you must choose to act. And it's a choice. Remember, we're talking about being deliberate and intentional. Follow your heart, persevering in the face of adversity, standing up for what is right, expanding your horizon, letting go of the familiar, facing suffering with dignity or faith. So you must be courageous. I like the quote that says, I've kind of tweaked that quote a bit because it talks about companies, but I've put leaders. And it says, good leaders make good decisions and great leaders make courageous decisions. As a young professional, please be courageous. The 4th attribute is to be adaptable. A while ago, I took a group of people and asked them a question. I said, if you are ever in the animal kingdom, what animal would you be and why? And the people gave, different animals. Of course, a lot of people want to be lions and eagles. But I like the chameleon. A lot of people think about the chameleon as something negative, somebody who's pretentious or that, but the chameleon is adaptable. And on this slide, it says, change your approach depending on your audience. Sometimes you change your approach depending on the situation, the challenges, the circumstances. And it doesn't say change your it says change your approach. So you would need to think about, what do I need to do differently to be able to thrive in this space? They say that insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different results. So being adaptable helps you to move ahead and move ahead in a good way. Mahatma Gandhi said that adaptability is not imitation. It means power of resistance and assimilation. Be adaptable. That means you'll be open to new ideas and different solutions. You will learn to handle unexpected demands. You will keep calm and learn to control your emotions. There are so many things, but remember, you need to be adaptable and change your approach depending on what you're faced with. Number 5, be authentic. I love this image, the smiley face and the 100% authentic. You need to be authentic, young professionals, because it's important not to lose yourself. Instead of saying be self-aware, so be authentic. But some people use authenticity as an excuse to remain where they are. They say, oh, this is who I am, and so they don't want to change, but that's not really being authentic. So be authentic to your core values, be authentic to your core self. You will need to be adaptable, of course, but that doesn't mean that you go around wearing a mask. Sometimes what you project in one situation may be different from what you project in another situation, but you must be authentically you. You can be 100% authentic in different ways. It's like having different nuances, different hues of the color. So be authentic. And I love this poem by Shel Silverstein. It's a poem that captures the concept of authenticity. It says, she had blue skin, and so did he. He kept it hid because he's wearing a mask, and so did she because she's wearing a mask. They searched for blue their whole life through. They passed right by and never knew. So please be authentic. We want to see your authentic self. I think everybody, like somebody said to me once, everybody's taken. Be yourself, be your original self. God kind of made you unique for a purpose. So be yourself. I remember once in my career, my younger days, I'm usually a bubbly person. I love to laugh, I love to smile all the time. And then somebody said to me, oh, you're not you're not like professional, that other guy. He's always, very serious minded. And I said to myself, now I have to be serious minded. For weeks, no smile, no laughter. I was miserable because I was trying to be like somebody else. So my charge to you, young professional, and what I would say to my younger self would be, Chinyere, be yourself. God made you bubbly and a laughing person for a purpose. So use that, and you fulfill purpose. Number 6, be humble. Be humble. And I like this Chinese proverb, be like the bamboo. The higher you grow, the deeper you bow. Be humble. As young as you are, I'm sure some of you will know even younger people who are not humble, you know. And I don't think that being humble takes away anything from you. You need to see people for who they are, respect people, and it has nothing to do with culture. Some people think, oh, the culture says you do this. It has nothing to do with that. Please be humble. There are people who will kneel down and greet you, but in their heart, they're cursing you and abusing you. That's not an attitude of humility at all. Please be humble. Treat everybody as, an individual that is unique, and treat everybody with dignity. I think that's what I want to say. Treat everybody with dignity. This quote, I said, I was raised to treat the janitor with the same respect as the CEO. The fact that somebody has less number of degrees than another person, be respectful. As you grow in your career, you humble yourself more. Society today, everybody wants to show who I am. Do you know who I am? But being humble is priceless. You gain a lot of social capital with humility. And I like to say, so there's this book, The Execution, The Discipline of Getting Things Done by Larry Bossidy. And he talks about the fact that humility makes a leader effective. You can get, more done if you can contain your ego. You can get more done if you can listen to others, listen to their opinion. It's not just yours. If you exhibit the attitude, you can learn from others. So, my father used to tell me, pride goes before a fall, pride goes before a fall. Your pride doesn't get in the way of gathering the information you need to achieve the best results. Make sure that doesn't happen. Okay, number 7, be ethical. And that's so important in the world today because ethics is lacking, really, when you look around you. And you ask yourself, why be ethical when others are not? As my children grew, I kept having those conversations about, but everybody's doing this, but everybody's doing that. And I like to say the fact that everybody is doing it doesn't make it right. The fact that nobody is doing it doesn't make it wrong. Be ethical. With integrity, you have nothing to fear. You don't have to remember what you said yesterday because you said it right. If somebody said to me just yesterday, oh, I need to, pay attention to the things I say and be sure that I'm speaking truth to the occasion. And I said yes, because once you start perhaps lying or saying things that are not true, you have to try to remember the lie you told. Or you'd have to tell a lie to cover a lie and tell a lie to cover a lie. So you kind of get all mixed up. So please be ethical. Michael Josephson once said that the importance of what you do goes beyond what it gets you. The importance of what you do goes beyond what it gets you. Because what you do determines who you are, and that is definitely more important than what you own. Who you are is more important than what you own. So please, young professionals, as you grow in your career, be ethical. It's not going to be easy. Nobody hands you, nobody creates a perfect world where being ethical is now suddenly magical and everything goes well. No, you have those bumps and, but stick to it, be ethical, and you will stand out as a beacon of light. Number 8, be a reader. Be a reader. Harry Truman says, not every reader is a leader, but every leader must be a reader. I love to read, perhaps because I'm an author. Maybe I became an author because I love to read. But I love to read. And I also brought up my children, making them kind of to enjoy reading. And I say to them, look, reading broadens your mind. It kind of opens the door. If you read the books of maybe 10 authors, suddenly you understand their perspective on issues. So you're a broader person. You have a kind of a wider knowledge base than if it's just your thoughts. So please read, spend time and read. Sometimes it's so difficult these days. Everybody's running, chasing this, chasing money, chasing everything, chasing children and all that. But make time for yourself. Feed your mind. Be careful what you feed your mind, and you feed your mind when you read. We all eat and feed our body. So if you take it as seriously as that, you realize that you need to spend time and read. And reading doesn't have to necessarily be like a book all the time. You can read articles online. Now you have audiobooks, but find time. Have a plan to read. Say, I read 2 books a year or a month. Or what? Have your plan and try and stick to it. But make time to read. I like that little cartoon. It says it's called reading. It's how people install new softwares into their brain. Yeah. So please make time to read. So that's number 8. A few lessons from reading. Apart from the fact that it helps you increase your understanding, also presents new ideas and thoughtful ideas to you, and it gives you an advantage. So if you go for an interview, for instance, I remember a long time ago, I interviewed a young guy, and the panel, somebody asked him, what are your hobbies? And he said, oh, he loves to read. And then, you know how he loves to read is now seem like a cliche thing. So the person asked, so what book are you reading now? And we're all impressed. I mean, this guy said, oh, I'm reading 2 different books, and this is talks about this and that talks about that. But, you know, he just seemed to stand out from everybody because now he has a grip of certain, you know, like privileged information or knowledge that others didn't have. So please spend time reading. It encourages better decision making. Finally, number 9 says, be well groomed. Not because you're female, but please be well groomed. Now, this statistic here is interesting. It says, and this is from a book I read, it's Executive Presence. It says, executive presence is a dynamic of 3 things, a mixture of 3 things, yeah? So communication, how you speak. Gravitas, how you act or how people perceive you. So that's 28%, that's 7%. So you say, wow, so why do I need to bother? Because appearance happens to be 5%. But interestingly, appearance is the filter through which all the other ones are evaluated. So if you don't appear okay, so if you come to an interview, you come to a meeting, disheveled hair, you know, your shoes, if you don't just appear put together, nobody will probably want to listen to you. No matter how well you speak, it will take a while for us to kind of pay attention to how you're speaking or how you act. So please, my younger self, I'll say, well, I don't know that my younger self knows this particular one very well. So be well groomed, young professionals. And being well groomed has nothing to do with designer shoe and bag. It has nothing to do with how much money you have. You can be well groomed on a low budget. Just be clean, neat. You can do it on a low budget. So you don't think, oh, now I have to go and, you know, change my wardrobe. No. So please be well groomed. So these are my 9 attributes. Be self-aware, be visionary, be courageous, be adaptable, be authentic. Remember, put off the mask. Be humble, be ethical, be a reader, be well groomed. And I'll leave you with this quote by Indra Nui. At the end of the day, don't forget that you are a person. Don't forget that you are a mother, a wife, a daughter. If you're not a mother or a wife today, you will be someday. And remember at the beginning, I talked about the balls you have to juggle. Please remember who you are. Thank you.